Have you ever wondered if your red might be someone else's blue? Quite a colourful conundrum, isn't it? You see, colour perception is a fascinating topic that sits at the crossroads of science, philosophy and art. It's a key part of how we interpret the world around us, and yet it's largely taken for granted. Imagine for a moment peering at a ripe apple and seeing a vibrant shade of blue instead of the customary red. Makes you wonder if we're all just seeing things differently, doesn't it? But don't worry, we're not about to paint a picture of a world gone topsy-turvy. It's all part of the intriguing world of colour perception. A realm where light, biology and personal experience intertwine, creating a kaleidoscope of perspectives. So grab your palette and prepare to mix things up a bit. So let's dive into the science of colour perception and find out. The key to understanding colour perception lies in the eyes. To unravel this mystery, we must dive into the depths of our own peepers, where a world of cones and rods await. Now, let's not confuse these cones and rods with those of a circus or fishing trip. No, these are specialized cells in our eyes that detect light. Cones are the secret agents responsible for color vision. They come in three types, each sensitive to different light wavelengths. One type is most responsive to short wavelengths, which we perceive as blue. Another type responds to medium wavelengths, perceived as green, and the last type is most sensitive to long wavelengths, perceived as red. But what about the other colors, you ask? Well, when different types of cones get stimulated simultaneously, our brain blends the signals and voila, we perceive a whole spectrum of colors. It's like having a personal Picasso painting a masterpiece in our mind every time we open our eyes. Now, on to rods. These little fellows aren't color agents like cones, but they are the champions of low-light vision. They help us see when the lights are dim, but sorry to disappoint, they only see in black and white. But what about light? Where does it fit in our vision? Light is an array of electromagnetic waves with different frequencies. This electromagnetic spectrum includes everything from radio waves to gamma rays. However, our eyes can only perceive a tiny slice of this spectrum, termed as visible light. Each color we see corresponds to a different light frequency. Red light has the lowest frequency, while violet has the highest. The other colors fall somewhere in between. It's like a grand orchestra, with each frequency playing a different note, creating the symphony of colors we see every day. So next time you marvel at a rainbow or a vibrant sunset, remember, it's not just magic, it's science that lets us see colors. I guess you could say we've got a spectrum-tacular view of the world, thanks to our cones and rods. So do we all see colors the same way? Now that's a question that might color your perceptions. See, our eyes might be built on the same blueprint, but the way our brains interpret these colors, well, that's a whole different palette. Take color blindness. For example, it's not that those with color blindness see the world in black and white, but rather they perceive certain colors differently. A red apple might not be so red to them. And it's not just physical factors. Cultural context can also play a part. Some cultures don't even have a word for blue. And studies have shown that this can affect the way those individuals perceive the color. It's almost like we each have our own personal filter, altering the colors of the world in unique and fascinating ways. So, while our eyes may be built similarly, our brains can interpret colors in a rainbow of ways. So, the next time you're debating whether a dress is blue or gold, remember this. Color is not an inherent property of an object, but a result of our eyes interacting with light. Our eyes perceive color through the light spectrum and wave frequencies, but it's our brains that have the final say in this radiant riddle. Every brain is a unique masterpiece, interpreting these colors in its own distinct way. So while we all may agree on the name of a color, the shade you see could be a world apart from what your friend perceives. It's like we're all painters, but the palette is our perception. And if you're feeling blue about this, don't. It's this very variance that adds the spice to life. The rainbow wouldn't be so enchanting if we all saw it the same way, would it? Remember, the world is a colourful place, and it's even more vibrant when we consider how uniquely we all might see it.